voice hearing all the secret whisperings of the world.
Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin, and this is my spoiler-free review for the BFG. It was an interesting movie, and I have to say, just hitting some of the positives right out of the gate, visually, it was an amazing movie. I mean, do we expect anything less from Steven Spielberg? The guy knows how to shoot visually amazing movies, he knows how to direct amazing characters, and he knows how to tell a great story on the big screen. So right there are some of the biggest positives with the BFG. Probably one of the bigger positives with this movie is, to me, it felt like a very kid-friendly movie. There were a lot of kids in our theater. They were laughing. They were having a good time. Even the scary big giants, I don't think were scary and big enough to give kids nightmares, but I guess that just depends on the age and disposition of the child, so I guess that's totally up to you. But it felt like all the children in our theater were really enjoying this movie and enjoying it as a fun ride. The actor Mark Rylance, who played the BFG, that guy was amazing. I was trying to put my finger on it in the movie. What did I know him from? And, you know, he's a big actor, so there's probably a lot of things I've known him from. But the biggest thing I know him from, especially recently, was Bridge of Spies. And so it's like, oh, that's so cool. And he did a really great job in this movie. In fact, his character, the BFG, was probably one of the most lovable things about this whole movie. I mean, you get a lot of it in the trailer. It's the way that he talks, the funny way that he says his words.
And then they'd be locking me up in a cage to be looked at with all the squiggling, you know, hippo dumplings and crocodile dillies and jiggy raves.
So really what I'm just trying to say is I thought Mark Rylance, I really hope I'm saying your last name right, he did a fantastic job. And he, to me, like, was the best part of this whole movie. And there's some pretty good stuff in the movie. And the corgis. Okay, so the Queen's corgis might have been my other favorite part, but my parents have corgis. And Sophie, like, the actress that played Sophie, she was a great child actress. I mean, you know how sometimes child actors are sometimes great, sometimes not. Sometimes they're just so lovable that even when they're not great, you just accept it because they're just so lovable. Well, this girl who played Sophie did a fantastic job. I really liked her character. One of the things I liked is the movie kind of just got right into things in the beginning, because you kind of just see Sophie just kind of going around the orphanage. She can't sleep, so, you know, 3 a.m., she's just walking around. She's putting the mail in order and taking care of the place. So you see she's very organized. She's more organized than the people that are running the orphanage and all that fun stuff. And then, you know, 3 a.m. she looks out the window when she knew she wasn't supposed to and catches the BFG in action. The BFG notices and he takes her. And this is like in the first 5 minutes of the movie. So I really appreciated that it kind of just jumped into it. And then from there it was just super, super slow. And I don't think I mean like slow, boring, but from an adult perspective of a dude who loves the sci-fi fantasy movies like Star Wars and superhero movies and all kinds of stuff like that, yes, there were parts where it felt excruciatingly slow. The things that made it better were the great performances of the BFG and Sophie. They were just such fun characters that it was just the salt that sprinkled throughout it. And the visual stuff. Oh my goodness, like when they went to the Dream Tree, amazing scene. Like there's a lot of just really, dare I say it, beautiful scenes, and just the way they were put together and strung together. So it's weird because I watched this movie and just such a beautiful movie. It was so well done, like well directed. Everything about it was just really good. But at the same time, I'm just telling you, it felt like time was passing very slow for me. Like it just reached this point where it's like, could something happen? And then when things were happening, it wasn't super climactic. But again, all the kids were enjoying it. Like, I could just tell that the kids in the theater, like, their imaginations were going crazy, and they were having so much fun with everything that was going on. You know, it's kind of like when you go to Disneyland, and you have those kiddie rides that the adults get on, and they're like, yeah, that was fun. It was a little boring, but I wouldn't say it was a bad ride. It was a fun ride. But the kid is screaming their head off, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest ride ever! That's kind of what I felt like the theater was. As the adult, I was like, this is not a bad ride. And the kids, they were having a fantastic time. So, I don't know. You got kids, I think they'll really enjoy this movie. Will you be bored? I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on the type of movies that you're into. There's a good chance you might be bored in parts. But the beauty of the movie, the way they construct the scenes, the fantastic acting and things like that, they will keep you afloat. And you will find a ton of stuff you are going to enjoy with this movie. So in the end, I am going to give this movie only 2.5 stars. It's not because I hated it. So don't hear me saying I hated this movie. I did enjoy it. There was a lot of parts of this movie that were fun. There were parts where I found myself laughing out loud, and there were parts that were so dang long, I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, it's like the plot of the movie gets going towards the end of the movie-ish. And that's just me personally, why I give it 2.5 out of 5 stars. But, like those Disney rides where you ride them with the kids and the kids have way more fun than you do, it doesn't mean you yourself won't have fun with this movie. And I guess, especially if you grew up with the book, I don't really remember reading it as a kid, you might have a lot of great nostalgia moments. So, there's my basic review there of the BFG. If you saw Disney's The BFG this weekend, make sure to let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, happy 4th of July weekend! You notice I've been wearing this shirt a lot. I'm going to be wearing it again, tomorrow when my wife and I spoiler talk Tarzan. Because this is how I celebrate the 4th of July. Superman! Yeah! Truth, justice, and the American way. Make sure to subscribe so that you're on top of all the upcoming reviews that are going to be coming out this summer and beyond. I'm Durbin. Thank you so much for checking out Durbania.